In this video, I'm going to be sharing my top predictions on Underdog Fantasy for the PGA Championship at Valhalla Golf Course. The tournament starts tomorrow. It's a really exciting tournament. It's one of golf's majors, so there's a lot of money at stake for these players, and obviously there's a ton of predictions and entries we can make over on Underdog Fantasy to actually make a lot of money ourselves. Now, if you don't have an account with Underdog Fantasy, or if you're new at the daily fantasy game, go to their page, it's underdogfantasy.com, and sign up using the code LayTheHouseRM, and they'll give you a deposit match up to $250. So it's a really good promotion they're running, and it really helps me out and them out when you sign up using my code. I'm also going to be spending a couple minutes here talking about the PGA product on Underdog Fantasy itself, and also if you stick around to the end of the video, I will give two of my entries away for the PGA Championship that I already have placed on Underdog Fantasy. I've already posted them on TikTok and in my Discord server, so if you're in there, you've already seen them. I post pics every single day on all of my socials, so be sure to be following me everywhere. But let's talk about the PGA product on Underdog Fantasy itself. So I've been on Underdog for just about a year now. It's honestly my favorite daily fantasy website out of all the other competitors out there. It's where most of my volume is and where most of my followers play as well. It's a really good site, really good customer support, and honestly the promotions are really stepping up lately. But the PGA itself, the product itself, has really shown a lot of improvement since I started playing on there about a year ago. When I started playing on it, it was basically non-existent. There wasn't many PGA lines or PGA predictions that you could place entries on, and now there are a ton. So as you can see here, I'm on the Underdog website right now. I have it filtered for the PGA sport for their predictions. And basically, you're predicting higher or lower. So, for Tiger Woods, for example, this is a round one prediction, 73 strokes. You can predict him to either go higher than 73 strokes, or you can predict him to go lower than 73 strokes. I actually already have a prediction on Tiger Woods that I'll share with you guys later on in this video. But just let's talk about some of these other lines that they have on there as well. There's 17 in total. Some of these are for round one. Some of these are for the full tournament in general. But in golf, a tournament usually lasts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Underdog Fantasy has predictions every single day. So there are a ton of different options for you to place entries on here. Let's just take a look at a few of the options that we have at our disposal. So we can go with the strokes, obviously the round one strokes. Leaderboard position for round one, you get 2.25 payout. So it's like a boost on that one if you want to take it. It's called a Scorcher, and if you want to read a little bit about Scorchers when you get in the website, there is some information on there as well. And then there's some other things as well. So round four finishing position 10.5. So that's for him coming top 10 in the tournament. And then we've got some wild ones down here. So you got the holes 1 through 9 strokes on round one. Where are you going to find this prediction anywhere else? Not on FanDuel, not on DraftKings, not on Prize Picks. You're only finding things like this on Underdog Fantasy, which is why I really like the product. They give you so many different options that you could use. 314.5, hole 18, driving distance. So you can predict Tiger Woods' last drive of the day to go 315 yards or more. That's just a wild prediction out there. Super fun to take advantage of these on Underdog Fantasy, especially as you're watching the tournament as well. And if you're watching it, you want to get some action. Underdog Fantasy is the best place for your PGA action. So now that we talked a little bit about the product and Underdog Fantasy, I'm going to share with you my top values on the board on Underdog Fantasy for round one. Like I mentioned before, I posted these predictions already in my Discord server. I made a couple of entries on them. And if you're in there already, great. You're probably on these entries already. But if you aren't in there, the link to join is in the description below and in the pinned comment as well. Free to join. Honestly, the best Discord in the game when it comes to daily fantasy and sports betting. Everything's free. Everything's educational. I'm here to help you guys out. I'm not here to take anybody's money. So let's jump into what my entries are for this tournament here. So as you can see, I actually lost a baseball entry last night. But hey, it happens. I'm not going to win every single time. My first entry here, Colin Morikawa, higher than 69.5 strokes on round one, and Tiger Woods lower than 73 strokes on round one. I risked $20 on this Champions entry. Potential payout is $64.20 or higher, depending on what my opponents do in this contest. Basically, I want Colin Morikawa, I can't even say his name anymore, I guess. I want him to have an average round, maybe around even par. And then I want Tiger Woods to shoot under par and have a really good round one, which honestly he's been doing pretty well lately. Every time he plays, he does really well on Thursday and Friday, and then it's the weekend when he flares out and just absolutely explodes. Just look at the Masters. Made the cut, fell completely apart on Saturday, Sunday, ended up basically last after the cut. My next entry, we're going with a 3-pick entry. This is a non-insured, so it's a non-flex play. I need all 3 picks to win in order to make some money on this entry in Underdog Fantasy Champions. First play, Michael Block. If you remember him from a couple years ago, or maybe it was last year, he was that amateur that made the cut and had some really crazy run and even made the hole-in-one, or hold out a shot from like 200 yards out, which was absolutely insane. Super great story. He's back at the PGA Championship. I'm hoping he has a really good round 1 of lower than 75 strokes. Next, Tyrell Hatton, higher than 70 strokes. And then Matt Fitzpatrick, coming off a really bad tournament last week, lower than 4 birdies or better in round 1. Hopefully we can cash both of these entries over on Underdog. And like I mentioned before, if you're not an Underdog Fantasy yet and you want to sign up to take advantage of the top PGA product in the game, sign up using the code LayTheHouseRM, and they'll give you a deposit match up to $250. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end of the video to see these entries. Look forward to seeing many of my plays moving forward here on YouTube, TikTok, and all of my other socials as well. So remember to follow those. Best of luck on your plays this weekend, and thanks for watching.